Good afternoon. My name is Bert Blakey, and I would like to welcome all of you to the Grand Rapids Community College for this celebration of the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. First, I would like to welcome some distinguished guests. First, the president of the community college, Dr. Ender. And several of my fellow trustees, Ms. Margot Anderson, Ms. Ellen James, Mr. Rick Verberg, Dr. Richard Stewart. There was a rumor going around some time ago that the mayor is here, but I have not had a sighting of him. But we like the mayor anyhow, so we'll mention that. I believe he was here and he maybe had to be called away, but Mayor Hartwell is always very supportive of these events, and we appreciate his fine work also. So, thank you all for joining us in commemorating Dr. King's life and legacy. Very few people in our society, in our history, have had the impact and have accomplished as much as Dr. King has done in his lifetime. And it certainly is appropriate, I think, especially for so many young people to be here today, taking time from school to reflect and to think a little bit about what his legacy means to all of us. In 1955, he led a bus boycott in Montgomery, Alabama that lasted 382 days and led that city to lifting its mandate of segregated transportation. In 1957, he joined other activists in creating the Southern Christian Leadership Conference to coordinate the civil rights fight on a national level. In 1958, Reverend King and the SCLC sponsored mass meetings in key southern cities to register African American voters. In 1960, he and 75 students, emphasis on students, were arrested for refusing to leave an Atlanta department store lunch counter after being denied service because of the color of their skin. Reverend King's arrest led to a phone call to his wife from then presidential candidate John F. Kennedy, and political pressure led to his release from jail. In 1963, Reverend King organized a demonstration in Birmingham, Alabama that drew national attention to his cause when police turned dogs and fire hoses on the marchers. Later that same year, his march on Washington, where he delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech, drew more than 200,000 participants. His efforts influenced the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which authorized the federal government to enforce the desegregation of public accommodations and outlawed discrimination in publicly owned facilities, and which we might add has absolutely changed the face of America. In 1964, which was more than appropriate, Dr. King was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. In 1968, April 1968, which those of us alive will never forget, an assassin's bullet cut short Dr. King's life. But this commemoration today, along with others like it across the country, will make it sure that this work, his work, our work, does not die. As Dr. King once said, change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle. And that struggle certainly must be our struggle, all of us. As we pause for a moment of silence, let us meditate on two thoughts. First, from Dr. King, every step towards the goal of justice requires sacrifice, suffering, and struggle. The tireless exhortations and passionate concern of dedicated individuals. Secondly, from the Declaration of Independence, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Let us pause for a moment to reflect. Thank you. I would now like to introduce your Mistress of Ceremonies, Ariel Brown. Ariel is president of the Grand Rapids Community College Black Student Union. This is her second year at GRCC, and she is studying dental hygiene with plans to transfer to Grand Valley State University to pursue a degree in biomedical science. She eventually would like to obtain her doctorate of dental science degree, specializing in orthodontics. I could have used her when my kids were small. Please join me in welcoming Ariel Brown. Thank you.
Good afternoon, fellow students and guests. Each year we come together to celebrate the life and legacy of a great American, Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. We share stories of his greatness, from planning boycotts that changed the nation to the March on Washington, which changed the world. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. made the world aware of the injustices going on in our society and brought about a spirit of change. This was achieved by practicing nonviolence and creating a sense of unity among people of all races, regardless of socioeconomic status. We owe it to ourselves, Dr. King, and the other great African-American heroes to promote and practice nonviolence and equality every day of our lives. We are the torchbearers, and our mission is to ensure that his dreams live on in each one of us for generations to come. On behalf of Grand Rapids Community College, it brings me great pleasure to welcome you to the 28th Annual Martin Luther King Peace March and Program. We are pleased to welcome Northview High School Varsity Voices, led by their director, Judy Pellerito, accompanied by Diane Cosby. In just a moment, they will lead us in singing of our national anthem. Following our national anthem, they will also sing Up the Mountain, the Martin Luther King song by Matt Huff. The soloist that will be singing is Lori Robinow. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise for the singing of our national anthem? Gentlemen, please remove your hats.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare above bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, of the
Up to the Mountain is a gospel folk song that was originally written by singer-songwriter Patty Griffin. It is based on the speech given by Martin Luther King Jr. I've been up to the mountaintop, and he gave it the day before his assassination in 1968. It's a song of struggle, purpose, and hope. Please enjoy our performance of Up to the Mountain. I went up to the mountain because you asked me to. Up over the clouds to where the sky is blue. I could see all around me, everywhere
We will now view a video of interviews that took place at schools represented by students here today, captured by the GRCC Media Services. Following the video, we are going to ask you, the audience members, to participate in a short question and answer period with us, and Michelle Urbane, a staff member in the GRCC Theater Department, will facilitate our discussion.
He wasn't afraid of dying. He wasn't afraid of getting hit or anything. He just wanted everybody to have a fair life.
I mean, without him, I don't know where we would be today. So I just feel like we just have to just do it. We have to take initiative.
White children and black children couldn't go to the same school. And that just doesn't seem right because we're all humans.
Like, it's just not right. Like, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be like that. And so he stood for that, and he went through a lot of things.
If he wasn't, like, born, like, I wouldn't have my best friend. So, like, we would be at different schools.
They were all bad people just because of the color of their skin, which is totally not fair.
His leadership is really just unmatched. So that's what comes to mind really when I think about Martin Luther King.
One of the things I hate most in the world is inequality amongst people, because when I see, personally from my side of the story, I've been picked on and bullied in the past, and I know what it's like to be segregated against, not like as a white male, because that's never been a problem for me because of my race or skin color, but I know how much it hurts to be outcast.
They think you're different, and like that's happened to me a couple of times since I speak Italian, and well, that happened mostly to me when back then, they would ask me a question and I didn't know how to answer, so then they would kind of make fun of me and get me to say things that weren't right and appropriate sometimes. They kind of take advantage of you not knowing what you're doing, kind of.
Even in the hallways, you still see people joking about races, and it's not more of the, oh, you're black, it's more of a stereotype, I would say.
Every minority gets those looks, when you walk into a convenience store, those stares, those follows that, and they're watching you. They try not to make you aware of it, but you're aware. So, I mean, we wish everyone has them, but we all don't have the traits that Martin Luther King wanted us to have.
Nobody deserves to go through that, because going through that just can completely destroy your spirit and hope, and without hope there's really nothing.
His message does extend to different areas of discrimination, and it's a message that we should carry through every aspect of our life.
Even nowadays, our middle class and our lower class, they struggle a lot more, and people do look down on them, and they don't get as much opportunity as the more wealthy people, and that's a big deal for me because I'm in the lower middle class.
We should all be treated the same, and there's no really difference in each other. We're all people, and we should all be treated right.
Things are definitely a lot better than what they were back then, but of course it's not done.
Apathy is a big thing that stops us because we think, oh, look at all this improvement we've made, all the segregation and hate, that's in the past. That doesn't, that's not around anymore. And people think that, we're where we should be, we're where that we wanted to be, and that's not true, I don't think.
People today are starting to realize the fact that we are coming to an equality. We're coming to everyone being of a equal playing field, I would say. I think it's because of the fact that people are starting to develop respect for each other.
I think I have a lot of friends. I'm just really kind to people, and people will just be kind back to me.
he definitely inspired people and impacted on the people around him, but over time I feel like we're getting closer and closer to the goal of like complete equality, not just on a racial level, but also social status and gender and religious belief.
I love diversity. I think it's a beautiful thing to embrace other cultures and learn about them.
We should all be different. You don't have to be like another person. You can be your own self. You could be, I don't know, true to you. Our world would be so boring if everyone was the same.
Great. Hi, everyone. Am I on? Now I'm on. Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle Urbane. You can call me Shelly. I'm from the GRCC Theater Department. How many of you are going to do theater when you come to GRCC? Because I know you're all coming to GRCC, right? Woo! Awesome. Good. Oh, come on. Now, I'm going to ask you some questions. Okay, are we all ready for some questions? Good. First of all, do we still have work to do to strive for equality? Yep, like the video said, right? And we're ready to work? Oh, come on, we're ready to work? Yes, that's why we're here, isn't it? And we celebrate diversity, right? It's so cool, and I'm just so thrilled to see you all here, and I know I had a bunch of people over here who said they're ready to roll. So my first question is, how do you show respect to your friends, to your peers at school? And in the back, if you want to answer that question, know that I have Sarah back here. Hi, Sarah, who has a microphone, and you can answer. Oh, we have one right here. You want to answer? Oh, you're just waving. And there you go.
I just listen to my friends when they're talking to me.
Good. That's excellent. Listening is important, isn't it? Anyone else? How do you...
Not slapping them in the face.
Excellent. That is very, very good to note. Do not slap others in the face. Over here. Sorry to make you run over there, Sarah.
You respect your friends when you say kind things to them, and they can be kind to you back.
Say kind things. Excellent.
One more?
One more, yeah.
Be respectful.
How do you do that?
Be kind to people.
Kind. Excellent. Great. Okay, how about this? What is, we'll go on to the next question, okay? What does the word equality mean to you?
Whoa, let me not fall.
We have one up here, and then I'll get to you.
That we are all even and that nobody gets treated differently.
Excellent. We have one more up there, then I have one down here, Sarah, after that.
It means to me just everyone's equal, no matter race, color, the amount of wealth, what they wear.
Excellent. I had this, do you still have yours? Okay. How about, do you have another one right here? You have one? Can we pass this down?
Equality means, I don't know, having equal, I don't know. Yeah, being equal.
Here's a pen for you. Ready? Okay, good. Okay, wait, we have one more. Oh, one more answer.
Don't give hatred to people. Don't hate people.
Shelly, I've got one more.
Excellent. Okay. Here's one.
I think equality is respecting other people's culture, views. Just respect what you don't understand, because everybody comes from a different background. And if you don't understand something, you shouldn't be rude or just mean about it. Because I'm from a different culture, and when I first came here, it was everybody treated me differently or gave me weird looks, and I didn't really like that. I was raised to the point where if you don't understand something, just smile and be friendly and just make sure that you treat everybody the same way.
Exactly. Excellent. That's good to know, isn't it? Because if you're afraid or if you don't know about someone else's culture, that's sometimes where that comes from, isn't it? When we give people funny looks, maybe is because we don't really understand it, right? I like to think that people aren't trying to be disrespectful on purpose. They may not even realize they're doing it. And in that case, it's nice to just be asked, isn't it, about your culture. So, okay? Good. Good. Now, do we have time for one more? One more. Okay, we'll do one more question, all right? And I would like to ask, if someone is being picked on at school or being bullied, how might you help that person? I have one right here. Do you want to answer how you might help? No? You want to? You can answer. Do you want to? How do you help somebody who's being picked on?
If they're being picked on, you respect the person and you don't laugh at them and you stand up for them.
Good. Excellent. Great.
I know that when I see kids being bullied because, well, of their race or because of their sexuality, I always tell them, you know, it's going to be hard and that people are going to pick on you because you're different, but just because you're different doesn't mean that you're not a bad person. And to love your enemies. So.
Exactly. Embrace and love everyone, right? Show them respect. Excellent. Do we have time?
You calling them down like older people that even somebody you don't know.
So get to know them, right? Good. Yeah, get to know people that you don't know and don't just laugh at them or pick on them. Good. We have one more.
I think that when you see someone being picked on, you might want to help them out or, be nice to them, tell them it's going to be all right. Because when people feel really bad about themselves when they be bullied.
Exactly, yep.
So.
Okay, so that is it. I'm sorry for those that we didn't get to. We thought you all would be sleeping. No, we knew you wouldn't be. But thank you so much for answering those questions, everyone. Your voice matters. Remember that. Say that with me. My voice matters. Exactly. And remember this. Respect others, but also respect yourself. Okay? Now let's give Ariel a round of applause because she's doing an awesome job today. And give yourselves a shout. Woo! Good job. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Rodney Martin. Mr. Martin is the diversity partner at Warner, Norcross, and Judd. This law firm has demonstrated an exceptional commitment to diversity and inclusion. An example of its commitment, Warner, Norcross, and Judd is the sponsor of the annual Dr. Martin Luther King Essay Competition. Please join me in welcoming Rodney Martin to present this year's recipient.
Right here, thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here again, this time to announce the winner of the 9th annual Martin Luther King Essay Contest. It's an essay contest that we conduct for 6th graders in the Grand Rapids Public Schools. And we're very thankful to Carmen Fernandez of the Southwest Community Campus, who really helps us administer the competition. This year we had nearly 300 essays, which is a lot of essays to read. And we had 40 attorneys and staff members in our office. We have offices all around the state. We have 40 attorneys and staff members who read those essays and selected 3 that we have designated as winners. But before I announce who those 3 are, we also had 20 students who received honorable mention. And many of them are here today. They're from 5 different schools. If you are one of the students who received an honorable mention, would you please stand up and be recognized? Thank you. I will tell you, judging the competition this year was harder than any other year we've had. It was the quality of the essays was remarkable. So anyway, we have a young woman here today who was the 2nd runner-up in the contest. Maya Barbie, would you please stand up? Thank you. Maya is a 6th grader at the Center for Economicology. And then Sophia Krumbach-Tarian is our 1st runner-up. Is Sophia here today? There we are, way back there. Congratulations. Sophia is also at the Center for Economicology. And now I'm very proud to introduce to you the grand prize winners of this year's contest, who will read her essay to us today. She is Sophie C. Blumeling from Riverside Middle School. Sophie? Blumeling. Thank you.
Dr. Martin Luther King, Izzy, and me. Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. is one of America's heroes. He took the time and patience to try and fight calmly and nonviolently to win some of the true freedom of the United States of America. But anyone can be a true hero, not by a cape or tights and underwear, but having a kind heart, patience, and a willingness to put anyone else in front of them. He inspired me to think of other people first and put their needs before mine. But I'm not writing about me. I'm writing about a true friend who saved me, and her name is Izzy. When I was younger, I attracted bullies like a magnet. I was so broken. I was super shy, and I always wore a scarf to hide myself. On one particular occasion, I decided not to. That was the day I made a new friend. It was at Boys and Girls Club. I sat alone, afraid that if I left my spot, I'd be bullied again. For some reason, I got up and drew a picture on the chalkboard wall and sat back down. After about an hour, I heard someone yell, saying, "Who drew that picture?" I went up to the girl and stammered, I did. I'm so sorry. Before I could finish, she interrupted me. She hugged me tightly and said, "It's okay. I like it." I was so shocked. It felt so nice to feel a friendly touch from somebody else. Izzy, Isabella, was like a true heroine. She saved my life. Before she came along, I used to feel depressed and kind of hopeless. She could relate to my feelings because she experienced pain from being bullied herself. Even so, she took the time to help me gain some self-confidence. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be such a good artist, singer, or have so many friends. She put my needs in front of her own, just like Dr. King would have. She put color back into my life. Whenever I try to give her something in return for her kindness, she says, "You don't need to give me anything. to stay the way you are and be my good friend. Izzy has the characteristics of a true personal hero, just like Dr. King did. America is still not entirely fair, and we may have a little too much freedom with things like bullying, stealing, kidnapping, murder, etc. But thank goodness Dr. King did make a big hole in some of it. Some of Dr. King's dreams have been fulfilled today. Dr. King, a man who started a fight for freedom without using violence, would have been proud to see that America is a bit freer than it was before he started this social revolution. No one's life is insignificant. Saving anyone from life or death is a huge accomplishment. Like I said before, a hero doesn't have to have a cape and superpowers, or even save the world from an evil villain. Being a hero takes bravery, love, patience, and a willingness to put yourself out there no matter who or what needs you. And that's what Dr. King and Izzy have in common. They are heroes, and they are my role models. I think Dr. King would agree with me. Izzy is a true friend.
All right. I'm sorry, y'all. That was beautiful. Sorry, guys. At this time, we would like to welcome a very important organization that provides exceptional service and leadership in our community. Kids Food Basket is a nonprofit group that's focused on addressing childhood hunger in the greater Grand Rapids area. We encourage you to see the connection between Dr. King's legacy and message and the work that the Kids Food Basket does every single day. Please welcome to the podium Katrina Harvey, the program coordinator for Kids Helping Kids program.
As we honor Dr. King today, I would like to use one of his quotes to remind all students in this room that we all have the power of one voice to solve community issues with community solutions. Dr. King says, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. And today I brought 2 students with me who do that tirelessly for Kids Food Basket, Caleb and Sarah.
So much like Dr. King used his one voice to reach millions of people and try and bring us all together as a community is exactly what I want to do as a junior ambassador for Kids Food Basket. I love going in and speaking to the kids and working with the kids and showing them that their one voice makes a difference. And all of you, I want to bring you guys together too as a community and show you that we can make a difference just like Dr. King did. And just a little bit different aspect of life, but this is just the same.
Like Katrina said, I am Sarah, and I attend Rockford High School as a junior. I'm excited to be here today to honor Martin Luther King Jr. All through middle school, I played volleyball year-round. Freshman year, I tried out for the volleyball team and did not make it. It cut deep, to say the least. I had no idea what to do with myself at that point. I spent time looking and tried out multiple things like sewing, because personally I love clothes, but let's just say that did not work out either. And that is when Kids Food Basket fell into my lap. I didn't know what to expect the first day I walked in. I knew I loved helping people, but I had no idea how much of an impact it would make on my life. If you would have asked me that first day before I went to Kids Food Basket, why are you going to volunteer at Kids Food Basket? I probably would have said something like, I need something to fill my time and it would look good on my resume. If you would have asked me that same question walking out of Kids Food Basket that first day, I would have said something because I want to be part of a bigger movement. I want to know that I can make a change and help fix the problem of childhood hunger. I still feel that exact same way 3 years later. I have always been a very passionate person about everything, and my parents can vouch for me about that. But when I find something I care about, I cannot stop. Volunteering has given me the eyes to see past the little circle I live in and the passion and confidence to want to help. It has also given me an appreciation for diversity. I think it'd be easy for anyone to have this feeling. You just have to find something you truly care about, whatever it may be. I'm lucky to be able to say that I was able to find it almost the first try. But if you don't find it right away, keep on looking. Being involved with something you really care about teaches you that you have a big voice in this world. And even though you are just one person, you can spark a change and make a difference. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the video.
Alrighty. I now have the pleasure of introducing the Grand Rapids Community College Choir and Concert Choir. Under the direction of Dr. Stephen Barton and accompanied by Dr. Kenneth Voss. They will be singing 2 songs for us this afternoon, Total Praise and Make Them Hear You from Ragtime. During their performance of Total Praise, you will be able to see student artwork from Breton Downs' 5th grade class that represent Dr. Martin Luther King. Please join me in welcoming the GRCC choirs. Today's events have been inspirational. I hope that as you all are leaving, you are thinking about the greatness that Dr. King's memory, dreams, and legacy has implanted on our community. Practice nonviolence in unity and equality every single day of your life. I would like to thank all of those who made today possible, all of the schools, the performers, Warner Norcross and Judd, the Kids Food Basket, the musicians, GRCC staff, and campus police. We would also like to invite you to our Dr. King commemorative program later on this evening from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. here in the Hunsberger Arena. If you have arrived by bus, please wait and we will let you know when your bus has arrived. Thank you for joining us this year, and we will see you guys next year.